Hello everyone, my name is TenebrificEnigma, and today we are playing Lake of Voices. It's a game I found while I was looking through the free games on Steam. It's by GB Patch Games, and it looked really cool. So, let's get into it. Okay, choices. You'll need to make various decisions throughout Lake of Voices. Here are a few details to keep in mind. Certain choices are timed. Time is running out. It isn't something to completely avoid. In some cases, not getting involved can open new possibilities. Other choices aren't timed. These options only determine whether Kika has any special affection for another character or not. If you survive until the second night, the story will branch into one of 5 different plot lines based on your earlier decisions. The other characters cannot manage all situations in various plot lines, regardless of what you do. If a character isn't making it, try getting that plot with a different set of survivors or having the same group of characters venture through some other storyline. Becoming closer to someone can add or remove future choice options and change how some scenes play out. Your decision to build that connection may go unnoticed by the other characters. Earning the full amount of affection with certain characters can require getting to specific plot lines. Okay. My grip on the lantern tightens as the fog around us thickens. While the forests in this area are relatively safe compared to Sinnlos, I cannot help but feel my hair stand on end as we get further. My free hand fingers the hilt of my sword, something akin to a nervous reflex.
Have you seen it before?
Seen what before? Bemelle breaks the silence, either sensing my unease or saging his own. I hope it's the latter.
I haven't. I've had no reason to go near this cursed lake until now. What have you?
Bemelle scratches his chin casually, as though I asked what his favorite food is.
I traveled the long way around it once before. Not so pleasant. Something about it just frays your nerves. Although, even being near it is enough.
So I'm not the only one who feels it. A sense of relief hits me, but not enough to undo the buzzing of anxiety. The lake, Sinnlos, most try their best to avoid it all their lives. The hundreds who die attempting to cross its unearthly black water, dragged to death by the creatures lurking within, aren't a secret.
No wonder you were assigned this mission.
There are few who have first-hand experience with the place, even if from a distance. He'll probably be picked whenever they need someone to cross, for however long he's with us. Bemelle shrugs, bringing my attention back to the dark path before us.
At least we're taking the bridge this time. It'll only take 2 days instead of double that, and the sooner this place is behind us, the better.
This music's beautiful.
It would be preferable not to risk it. But time is of the essence. We don't really have a choice.
I'm really interested to see what's going on with this. One of our allied villages, Hemmer, is being harassed by brigaders, a band of ruffians. We don't have many guards to send us an assist, only Bemelle and myself. The least we can do is arrive before we are too late to be of any use. These kinds of squabbles happen often, but have to be put down lest they turn into a blood grudge or all-out war. The last we heard, neither option was that far off.
I can also see why they chose you to come out here.
Ooh, why would that be? I glanced at Bemelle, an eyebrow raised, a slight smile playing across his lips.
You're always so calm and so serious. Nothing can get to you. You're the best choice they had.
Whenever people say that about someone, it's not true. Smile now tugs on my own lips. I would like to thank him, but that wouldn't be so calm and serious as you just described. And if that's how he sees me, I'd like to keep it that way. My lack of reaction only makes his smile grow. He chuckles a bit before refocusing on the path. I do the same. It wouldn't be right to let my guard down in a place like this. Bemelle appears to feel differently, however.
You know the town on the other side of the lake, though. It's not so similar to ours. If all goes well, perhaps we'll have enough time to enjoy the new area.
It's good to be optimistic sometimes. For the most part, I ignore him, nodding when applicable. Bemelle is a talkative sort, and if chatting helps keep his worries down and his sword hand ready, I have no complaints. After a time, the thick fog surrounding us begins to clear. A slick wooden dock comes into view, and with it the sounds of water gently lapping at its sides. Bemelle shifts beside me, stretching his lantern arm as far as it will go. He seems tense.
Someone's already here.
Ooh, I wonder who it is. Ooh, hello. A young woman stands by the dock, eyeing us warily. Does she intend to cross tonight? Evidently, she has the same question. As we step up next to her, it's clear she isn't simply passing by. She's waiting. The stranger nods curtly to us.
Margret.
It's a lovely name, Margret.
Kika the Steadfast.
Cool.
Bemelle.
Oh,
Hello?
that's how you say it. Bemelle. I feel so bad I butchered that name. Oh my god. There's a stuffy silence. Margret turns to gaze out across the lake, expression unclear. With not much to say, Bemelle and I do the same. From here, the black surface of the lake looks disturbingly calm. Wind rushes across its surface, a sound like whispering. Though perhaps it actually is whispering. I concentrate, trying to place the difference, searching for breaks in the rhythm. After a few seconds, I feel foolish. If I try to read too fast, I'm gonna keep messing this up. It doesn't matter what the noise is. Whether I hear them or not, we're alone. We're not alone. The Nixie are out there. A feeling that I can't quite shake tells me they've already noticed the little group of people on their shores. It feels hostile. My stomach sinks, and I instead address Bemelle. I forgot how to say it already. Bemelle.
Where is the guide?
Yeah.
Unless he's on the center island, or on the complete other side, your guess is as good as mine. It's dark as pitch out there.
Panic rises inside me. Panic I try hard to quell.
We can't cross without him, and we need to get going soon.
You can't cross with him either.
Why's that? The one behind us, Margret, cuts in with something like a snort.
What?
Bemelle. I think that's what he said his name was.
I know the guide will be here tonight. I have already made arrangements with him to cross.
Okay. Don't gotta be so rude, though. Bemelle and I share a look. The woman seems haughty and willing to put up a fuss. I really hope I'm not butchering this name again.
I have his word he'll take me today. It would be wiser for the two of you to begin the trip around if you're really in such a hurry. Or you can make camp here and wait for him to make the trip back if you prefer.
Why you gotta be so rude? Don't need to turn my attention to Bemelle to know he's riled up. I step in before he can say something rash.
Even if that is so, my companion and I must begin the trip tonight.
Margret is unimpressed and opens her mouth to argue further.
We'll wait for the guide to arrive before coming to a conclusion about any of this.
She clamps her mouth shut, then lets out a sigh.
You can do as you like.
Yeah, I know. With the matter tentatively settled, Bemelle moves away. His finger begins to tap loudly against the top of his hilt. He shifts from one foot to the other, then groans.
What's that bastard even up to?
Who? I'm almost visibly start, but manage to restrain myself. He probably doesn't know any better. I'm sure of that. It's not worth mentioning.
With a mouth like that, you shouldn't even have the right to ask the guide to take you across.
What?
How ludicrous. He's faced far worse than a bit of foul language.
Do you know anything that's happened with this lake?
I don't
I know enough.
Margret is clearly not convinced, but she shrugs and makes a show of turning her back to him.
The guide's father is Garvin the Exemplar. Garvin never accepted the guide as his son, all the way up until he died in this lake. Your statement could be seen as tasteless.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah. Bemelle rubs the back of his neck, his face regretful. That's why you don't just say that kind of stuff about people.
My apologies to the guide. I didn't mean it that way. I never knew about his... well, that.
A smile spreads across my face when I quickly wipe away. He really did just misspeak. The silence slowly stretches between the three of us, growing more awkward with each passing second. Margret seems irritated, Bemelle abashed. Let's do that.
It's been years since the time of Garvin the Exemplar. It's impressive you knew.
Margret smiles, lifting her chin into the air. The over-exaggerated action is somehow pleasant rather than belittling. She seems much happier than I anticipated. She's probably some sort of scholar, isn't she?
Yes, I do like to stay informed. And you knew too. Good. This lake shouldn't be allowed to swallow even history itself.
My town, the one where I was born at least, was also Garvin's hometown. I was very young when he passed. The entire village went into mourning.
What does that mean to his son? Why?
People broke down crying in the streets. I'll never forget it. He meant much to everyone who knew him.
Oh, I have no such connections. I merely read about it.
Still pretty good, I guess. She pauses, seeming to scan the air in front of her for something to say.
I'm sorry for your loss.
It's all right. Thank you.
My town may have taken pride in Garvin the Exemplar,
What heaved?
but we weren't the ones who lost the most. That would be his family. We remained locked inside our own thoughts, not another word passing between us. Eventually, a small light appears on the bridge ahead, gently swaying through the foggy air. It gets closer and closer until it becomes apparent it's a figure carrying a lantern. Ooh, that must be the guide, although I can't shake the ghostly aura it gives off. The figure steps onto the shore, but we wait for him to approach us instead of going to meet him. None of us are sure how close to the waters we can get before it's no longer safe. Ooh. He's pretty. He stops in front of us and simply stares. This art style is beautiful. By the way.
Are you the guide of Sinnlos?
I'd assume so. The man nods. He has a sharp face and weary eyes.
Well, that's grand. We would like an escort across the lake.
Okay. Bemelle motions to the two of us, and Margret approaches, a strained smile on her face.
Hello, it's good to see you again. I'm ready to cross, as we've agreed upon.
She seems like a nervous type. The guide turns to face her as well, face remaining unchanged. It must not be a lie. He would have had to say something otherwise. She really does have a preference to travel with him. That's a problem.
Is there a way we can all begin the trip tonight?
Yes, I will allow all three of you to go. But with that many, at least one will die before we reach the other side.
Ooh. That's a cool voice. I furrow my brow. It's a disturbing addendum. And one offered with little emotion attached. Bemelle glares back, asking without asking what we're supposed to do with such circumstances.
You should go around.
The Sentence hangs in the air, a second half unspoken. If you want to live.
We don't have time for that. There are people counting on us for protection. Why does she need to go?
Don't be rude, boy. He jerks a finger at Margret, whose face contorts with anger. You gotta start a fight all the time, don't you?
I don't need to explain myself to you. My journey has already been put off once, and I was promised I could go today. I will be going under any circumstances.
Huh, I wonder what she's doing. She meets Bemelle's eyes with a gaze of steel. He starts to speak, and she cuts in.
An extra day or two shouldn't be that much of a problem for you. Whoever you're meeting can surely wait such a tiny amount longer. Patience is a virtue, after all.
The night is only so long, and if we're still on the bridges when the sun comes up, we'll all die as they sink back below the surface. If you don't decide soon, no one will be going.
Huh. The guide is dispassionate, stoic. I would almost feel something's wrong with him if I didn't share the trait myself. Bemelle pulls me to the side, jaw clenched tight.
That woman isn't armed.
Okay. His voice is low. He darts a glance at Margret.
We can easily get her to back off if we make this into an actual fight. After all, we have to go tonight, yes? If one of us really is to die, it'll be her. Would staying be a worse fate than her death?
What? I stare at the dock, refusing to meet Bemelle's eyes, and trying to keep my voice as level as possible.
We don't know her situation. This isn't a decision we can make for her.
What?
Yeah, people can make their own choices, boy. Bemelle leans in closer, apparently having missed what I said. I remove the simply for her in my response when I speak again.
The guide won't accept something like that, I assume.
His face is grim.
Then what else do you have in mind?
First of all, you and I cannot split up. Either we both stay, or we both go.
Why can't we split up?
Right. That's not a question.
Okay. I cross my arms, a hand on my chin. I have full confidence in my abilities, and in Bemelle's. But there's no reason not to believe the guide knows exactly what he's talking about. I wonder what the Nixie are. It's probably the picture that's the icon for the game. If we go, he may not be able to give the group the attention we deserve. That would mean we truly would be putting Margaret's life at risk on top of our own.
And I believe you.
We should go if we're trying to save those people. It is her choice to go, whether or not to cross. Bemelle's reply is firm. My steadfastness seems almost weak in comparison to its certainty. He addresses the guide.
We shouldn't waste more time. Let's shove off.
Okay. The guide slowly turns around without even a nod to show his agreement. Margret stares at Bemelle and me, something of resolve in her gaze, then follows after the guide. At least she didn't insist we stay behind.
We should do what we can to protect her. It's our fault she's being put in even further danger.
Exactly my thoughts. We will take care of everything. Maybe I'm being naive, but I have no intentions of letting anyone fall victim to this lake tonight. Those monsters can starve.
He turns to follow the others across. I will protect everyone on this trip. I will make it through this. Then I step onto the dock and decide to join them. Join them. Okay. As soon as I step on the wood surface, the temperature drops. The light of my lamp shines against the water surface as reflective as a mirror. Until we reach land again, death is only one small mistake away. Oh, wow. Alright. I'm gonna end this episode here, and we'll continue this in the next one. I hope y'all have enjoyed, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!